brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Timberland is in the building with us, man. I'm gonna be itching my ass cheeks. I could have taken this pen and it would have turned to dust. I was like, I just gotta wait for Tim to come on. I gotta wait for Tim to come on. But you're here now, bro. How you feel?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm good. How you doing?
How they treating you? How's everything down there where you are?
Yeah, I guess as you can see, I think the cases are a lot out here. So they've shut down the gyms and I think restaurants, something like that.
But you still make music. That's not stopping you, is it?
Oh yeah, I still, I do that. I make music here and there. I make it when I feel it.
So let's start from the beginning. From the early days, man. How did you know that music was for you?
I think when you have a strong love, like everything else doesn't matter. So everything, like when you hear music, that's the only thing that brings you joy. You know what I'm saying? So I knew, like, even when I had a regular job, like when I hear music, I always had these fantasy of just making my own record. That was it. I just wanted to make my own record because at that time I was a DJ. So I really wanted to make my own record, scratch my own record, and spin my own record. And now, with all that being said, look who I am today.
Yeah, now, do you remember your first piece of musical equipment? You remember the first thing you had, first thing you bought, first thing you got?
Shit, it won't like there was a lot of musical equipment out, back in the 90s. It was like, I guess when I was in high school, my parents didn't have much. I say a Casio keyboard. It was like you only could sample for a second. So you had to be creative with that 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And a Casio 1 second, you have to be creative. So that's the only thing that I would spend my time on is how can I get more out of 1 second. So I would speed up records real fast and go back down to the key, play it slow, and start chopping it up and just making little ideas that second, and with a tape that the heads were kind of dirty, so you can kind of like overdub, still hear the music, but it wasn't. But it was.
Now, at that time, you're still in Virginia. You in Var Beach, the 757. What's it like back then? Were the Neptunes still around? Were the Neptunes around you? Who was your influence? What was it like?
It was just a group of us. Pharrell had, Chad and them. It was a group of us that just always connected because music was our joy. Like Virginia didn't have much, but we was the only group of kids that loved music. So we always extremely connected, like always trying to do music together. Pharrell had his crew, Missy and all of us. We will all link up, just do music and just try to fulfill our dream. Not knowing it was a dream, but trying to get our music heard. So I guess, we knew that we was becoming good. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we did. That's the only thing that was our only outlet. I mean, Virginia's a Commonwealth state, so it's like all you got to do is create your own type of sound.
All you do is just so really it was a collective of you, Missy, Pharrell, like all of these people who wound up blowing up and becoming great were all in like one little team. And you're all in Virginia. Is there anybody that's a major influence that you guys are looking at or looking up to while you're down there, or you just feeding off yourselves?
And for the first part of it, we just feeding off each other, and then Teddy Riley came. And then when Teddy moved, that's when Pharrell was the person who got close to Teddy. And, Pharrell did Rump Shaker. But prior to that, it was each other.
Whoa. Pharrell did Rump Shaker?
Yeah. He wrote, I think he wrote Teddy part. He did a part check up Teddy with the 1-2 check up. Yeah,
Right.
Pharrell. Yeah, Pharrell wrote that.
So there were people that we didn't even see behind the scenes that were doing stuff that were being creative that we didn't even know, and now we find out that they were the force behind it. What was your first record that you produced? Who was the first person to give you a shot at producing a record?
I would have to say Devontae Swing from Jodeci. Because even though I was under him, you know, the first person you come under, and we was called the Basement, and Missy was with a group. And Missy had a group called Phase Z at the time, and I was a producer. But Jodeci was working on their album, which was Cry for was it Cry for You? Yeah, Diary of a Mad Band with Cry for You Fiend, and Devontae allowed me to co-produce with him on a couple of those records.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was like the first person. That's a big shot. That's a big shot to get like right in the beginning. That's somebody taking a big chance on you. Speaking of which, big chances, you wound up meeting Aaliyah. What was your first impression of Aaliyah when you met
her? My first impression of Aaliyah, I thought she was dope. She was she was a sweet girl. I knew that she fit in to what we was building all that whole time. Cause we left Devontae, me and Missy, you know, it was like we built the sound, and we knew that the sound that we built could be given to Aaliyah.
Wow. What would she have been like had she been here now? What do you think she would have done? What point do you think she would have got to?
I don't know. You know, baby girl is such a loving soul. Who knows? She might have got married early. She might have had kids early. She could have retired at 30. She could have been a movie star. Like Aaliyah had so many options, you know. And she could have been anything. Like she was the first, I don't know if she was the first girl to play in a big major film. It was Jet Li, Romeo Must Die. She started getting film roles, you know. She was destined to go, you know what I'm saying? Her career was cut short. I mean, you know, who knows? Who knows what she would have been right now?
Yeah, I think
she was a loving soul. She was a loving soul. Who knows? You know, like family was big for her. So, you know, at the time she was dating Dame, so you don't know. They could have got married. You don't know what that, you know.
Right.
You don't know.
I think she would have been big. I think she would have, from what I remember, I think she would have been Beyonce.
She'd have been, put it this way, she'd have been big at anything that she would have done.
Yeah.
Whether it's family, whether it's, you know, whatever she choose for her career, it would have been a big moment.
Yeah. She was on that trajectory of like Beyonce. She was on that trajectory. If you weren't around to see it, you could feel the energy. She was definitely on it. What's the story or the moment that you had with her that best describes Aaliyah?
I didn't really like. She just liked to play. We always like play, like you just play, you know, like joke and stuff like that. But our chemistry was she loved my music. It always made her smile. When I play a beat, it always tickled her soul. So I was like the brother, but she really clinged to Missy at the time. Like, you know, and it was really, you know, it's girls on girls. So I was the guy that was like in the background, the producer. But when I played my music, it always just like touched her soul. So it made her feel a certain way. I remember when we did our death party, and she was on the couch with her going to sleep. But every time I was doing the beat, she would just shake. You know how you sleep and you make like you jitter, like she smile, like dozing off. Like she always gave me my inspiration, you know, to keep pushing forward. Like she always accepted my craziness. Like she always like, no, that's
Wow.
doing that.
That's crazy. When it comes to production, who initially hooked you on doing production? Who was the person that kind of got you to be a producer? Because when we think of Timbaland is like one of the top 10 producers in hip hop. Who got you into it?
I think me. You know, I was just a person that loves sonics. I always love sounds. And I think when I first heard Mantronics, DJ Premier, and Pete Rock, when I started hearing their production, I was like, I want to do that. And like, it then it came a time when I was a DJ where the music that was being made, I didn't like the beats. So that's when I decided to try to make my own beats and mix records, like, you know, from Peter Piper to a beat. And I started doing that, and people was like, yo, what's that beat? And just like, yo, that's crazy. You know, people started to like really like it, and it started.
And it just took off from there?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the person that what was the artist that you were actually starstruck to produce? Was there ever a person that you were actually starstruck and like, wow, I'm in the room with this person?
I don't think I had time to be starstruck because I had a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has to be different. I have to make, when Timberland works for somebody, it's like you have to, it's like Dapper Dan making a Gucci suit. Everything has to be custom for that artist. So I didn't have time to be, oh, this star. I was always like, not starstruck, but when I hear their voice on my beat, I felt like proud because, like, yeah, that's Jay. Oh yeah, that's Justin. Like, you know, listen to this, listen, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was their favorite artist, and me giving them a new swag. So when I would give a new bounce, I'm like, check this out. And so niggas, you know, they'll be like, it sound like you. I know it's you, but it don't sound like you. And I took pride in that because I didn't want nothing to sound alike. I want everything that everybody to be tailor made for them.
Who is the most creative person that you worked with? Because you've done a lot of people. Who's the most creative? Like, when
I mean, come on, man. When you talk about my era, everybody from my era, you had to be great to be recognized. You had to be good to be recognized. So that's everybody, bro. Everybody, because everybody, you had to be somebody to be somebody. You had to
100%.
be great. You couldn't be mediocre. We won't listen to you. So all the people I've done were great.
Okay, I give you two names. What was it like working with Jay-Z in the studio? How does that go?
Me and Jay, it's like musical brothers. We both got chemistry. So when I'm in the studio with Jay, it's like I listen to his conversations of the day and just listen to, you know, because Jay is a real smart guy. But it's like I call him like a prophet. He's a prophet of today. And I like, and you listen to Jay, he always dropping gems. And when he'll always like give me like 4 bars. And then from those 4 bars, he'll leave me with 4 bars to like marinate and then go cook up. So he'll always like just say little things, and I'm like, ooh. And so then I get into my zone. Just hearing his tone, I always knew what sounds I wanted to hear tone against. So I just need to hear the subject matter or like where you want to go with it. And I'm like, oh, this sound will be cool with it.
That's just how it works. Justin
Yeah.
Timberlake, you walk into the studio, Justin walks in, what's the process?
Me and Justin, I mean, it's the same thing. Like everybody that I really work with, it's a chemistry thing because we all they just let me build. And then it's like when I do something, Justin be like, he'll constantly here to sit and just come up with melodies. You know what I'm saying? It was so free spirited. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about when you go in the studio with me and a Justin and a Jay-Z, it's like magic. So when we walk in the room, it's like it's just one of them things that just fit. Like we just musically we just fit. You know what I'm saying? It's like and I'm so blessed that everybody that I work with, we musically fit, and it's all like some of the same stories. Like those guys, when you talk about adjusting to Jay-Z, it's like I had a long musical history with those guys. It's a little different, but most guys, like say, if I did something with Nas, I did a couple times, it still was the same thing. The energy was still the same. The chemistry still was the same. You know, as you work long term with other people, you create something that's called magical. It's like you have chemistry, but then it becomes magic when two people together. It's like we spend a lot of time today, Missy, like we spent a lot of time, so we just magic.
So when the process, because you just started talking about Missy, and that was the next person I was going to ask. When you go in the studio with Missy, what's the process?
Missy will make you play like 100 beats because she gotta see the whole vision to the beat. So Missy kind of was the person who made me who I am today because she pushed me to be great. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Missy, I probably wouldn't be right for Jay-Z and just without her guidance or push. He just didn't accept anything. He like next something else. And the difference back then was I started from scratch each time. It wasn't like a computer where you could just go pull up beats. It was like from the muscle each time.
So Missy
really
pushed you.
that work.
So she pushed you. She really pushed you to excel and go to the next level.
Yeah, she pushed me to be great.
Wow, I would have never thought that. I just thought that you guys go in, you do your thing, and that's it. I would have never thought that. A lot of producers are on this live right now. Do you believe a producer has to be the person that made the beat or not?
I mean, producing today is about a collaborative thing. I think it's not about. I think now because technology has advanced so much that producing is about collaborating with people. It's better with more people. It's better with a bunch of the young kids because everybody's gonna bring something to the table. And you just work out the business later. But like the business should work itself out because y'all made magic. Now magic is made with other people. It's not just Timberland no more. It's like, okay, now here's what I got. What do you got? Go to money, go to these guys. We all collab. It's a beautiful thing now. I think producing is fun. It's a connective like activity, like a sport. You know what I'm saying? Right now, versus back then it was like you know what you eat. You know what I'm saying? Because you had to be great. You had to be super great. You had to be like make noise. Yeah, you had to be.
You had to be amazing. So we talked about
we ain't had no tags. You know what I'm saying? Like our sound was our tag.
Yeah. Well, I would agree with that because your sound was. Matter of fact, I tell you what, the best way I could explain it, people, I'm going to describe it to you. It's beatbox, it's weird things, but it always goes back. Whatever that beat is, it always goes back to the beatbox. So this is how I see Timberlake. I walk into the studio to do the record drop. You got the fattest ass on the block, now drop. Let me see you. Now drop, now drop, now drop, now drop. We're in Los Angeles. I come into the studio and there's one chair, and around that chair is about 300 CDs, just 300 CDs, and Tim's sitting in the chair, and you can turn around in each direction, and it's nothing but CDs. All right, so now he's like, oh, Scoop, you're here, cool, whatever, okay, let's go. Then he said, yo, I gotta make a beat though. I gotta make a beat. So I'm saying, all right, cool. So Tim goes like this. He goes in, he goes, he starts doing the beatbox. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is he doing? He said, okay, I got it. He goes in the room and he does the beatbox on the mic. Then he comes back out and he's got a cup of pencils. And he starts shaking the cup of pencils, going, right? Then he goes back in there and he gets a piece of paper like this. Literally, he got a piece of paper, like a big thing of loose leaf paper like this. And he took it and he went on the mic. And it's just like, and he said, okay, cool. And then he went back inside and said, and next thing you know, the shit was a fire beat. I've never in my life ever seen anybody do that. So now the beat is ready, right? So now he's like, okay, Fatman Scoop, it's your time to go. I go in the room and I try to record the record because we in a big studio in LA. Nothing's coming out. I can't do it right. Nothing's coming out. Tim's looking at me. He says, hold on, Scoop, come with me. He puts me in a broom closet. I don't know if you remember this. You put me in a little microphone booth. I couldn't even fit in the microphone booth because I was super fat back then. And I went in the booth, and it was a small booth. And you said, go. And you walked out the room. And when you came back, I finished the record. You just knew what to do for what artist, at what time, in what situation, for making the beat, to know how to deal with me as an artist. I couldn't get it out in the big studio with all of the grand pianos in there, but you put me in that little broom closet, and you knew enough to know this is where he needs to be. Next thing you know, hit record. And that's just your process.
Yeah, it was, just being fearless, and just knowing how to guide. And the beauty about what I said, the beat, is like the reason why I use like stuff around me like pencils and paper and all that type of stuff, because that is music. Everything around you is music. And you have to ask yourself, if you didn't have no money to buy no equipment, how would you express yourself? You have to use what's in front of you. Cans, spoons, paper, mop. You don't understand, because when you love music and it just got to come out you, it's going to sound. That's just the reason why the paper seems amazing and all that stuff, because that's just music coming out of me. I just can't hold it. And sometimes equipment can't get what's in my head or the feeling that's in my belly. Sometimes having a machine can't duplicate that feeling. Sometimes you have to start off with the mouth and then to the machine.
Like, I don't know if you remember, Tim, but when you went in there to beatbox, I was like, okay, that's cool. I got that. When you went and did the shit like this and started shaking them in a cup, I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Then when you took the paper and you crumpled it up, I took my glasses off. I said, what the fuck is this? But then when you put it all together, I was like, oh my, like I was going crazy in there. So, I mean, genius is just genius. I've never in my life seen anyone make a beat like that before, man. And I'll probably never see anybody do it again like that, man. But I have to give it up. What is your favorite digital audio workstation to work on? What do you use?
I use Ableton. I'm an Ableton guy. Like, I've been really and I think I would say I'm good. I'm not great, because I'm hard on myself, because Ableton is such a complicated machine. It allows you to be as free as you want to be, and it allows you to do whatever your mind tells you to do. But the thing about it, just knowing the shortcuts, knowing how to get to it, knowing how to process. It's just a lot to learn. There's little stuff that I never learned. Like, I never really went off 116, 132. I just know, it should sound like this. I never go by the number. So now we're able to, it forces me to like just really get into the math, because everything is numbers, and how you nudge it 5%, 2%, everything is numbers. So now I start learning like a grid of like beats by numbers. Like, if I say 4 3 2 4 2 4 2 4 5, I know how to swing that 4 2 4 3 4 5. So that's how I be studying, like, in code, kind of, in a way. So like So Ableton is, I say I'm not great. Like the ASR 10, I think I was great for what I do. But as I got to really dial in, I really didn't dial in enough in the ASR 10 because the stuff I know on Ableton, I'll go back and look at the ASR 10. I'm like, oh, some of the stuff was right here. But now that I'm like, okay, now the sound has changed to digital, so that's more analog. But I always loved the ASR 10. The ASR 10, I did all my hits on that machine. That record stuff.
Everybody, if you don't know what an ASR 10 is, it's a keyboard and you can sample on the keyboard. That's where you sample and you flip the samples by hitting the keys like on the keyboard. All of my records, Be Faithful, all those records were made on the ASR 10. Like he said, a lot of his records were made on the ASR 10. What do you use today? Other than Ableton, what is the machine that you use? That's it? Just Ableton.
Ableton and Push. It's Ableton Push, but it's all Ableton still.
Okay. Now, last thing we're going to talk about, Verzuz, man. I need a couple of things from your point of view. I spoke to Swiss last week. I got his point of view. I just want yours now. What made you guys create Verzuz? What was it? What was behind it?
Just want to be disruptive. Just want to shake up some stuff, and me and Swiss had the idea about 3.5 years ago when we did Hot 90. I think it was Summer Jam, Hot 97. I believe it was that in New York, and we kind of battled on stage. But we knew that the whole vision was this, we saw that like two artists, they 20 songs. We didn't have the 20 songs, but we knew it was two artists, hits, you know what I'm saying, against hits. So, make a long story short, put up to the virus that we live in today. So, quarantine just started. And then, God put on my, like I was laying down, and God put in my spirit, like, the idea that we were growing down for time. I just kept hearing, like, do it now. Like, I just kept hearing the voice, like, now's the time. So I kept egging Swiss on with, like, little beats. I would post and little stuff like Swiss duet. Then I call and I'm like, yo, we got to do our Verzuz thing right now. Right now? We got to do this. I think the time is so crazy. Like, all right, let's go. And we didn't give it a lot of talk. He felt my energy, and we kicked it off. And look where we at today.
Now, who is the hardest battle to get done? Who are the two hardest people to bring together?
You know what it is? I think when you're building something that's unique and different, when we first did it, we had to show ourselves. Then I can't. We done so many. My mind can't remember. But the second one after that, I think it was Hit Boy, Boy Wonder, then Lil Jon. Like, it got contagious for the first three. So that gave us a little leeway. Then after that, we started getting the big, those guys are super big. But then as we started going to the legends of Teddy Riley and Babyface, we knew we was going to have to deal with a different mentality, how to approach it. And everybody saw the beauty of what it was doing for Black culture, and the celebration. But back then, everybody kept seeing the word battle. We like, it's not about a celebration. Who you want to celebrate with, it's really music, chess. So I think after the Teddy, I won't say that was the hardest one, but like, it is a job to deal with people and explain what this is and what it's doing for the culture and how it benefits, it's giving back time that we can give back to people, because we doing it for the love. Ain't no money. We doing it. We creating a whole platform for the love to give back, to keep our great one celebrate, give them their flowers while they're here. It's for education, get to hear stories at the same time. So as people see it, you start to get, everyone was a fight, because it's like everybody have their perspective on what it is. You have to rearrange their mind a different perspective.
Now, when you're sitting in the house and you're watching people go through Wi-Fi problems like Teddy and Nelly, what are you sitting there saying to yourself? You looking like that? You're like, well, what the fuck?
You know what? You know what? That's all a part. That's at first, because we don't know. It's not a planned thing. So you're like, oh man. So we like, oh, we gotta get the show on the road. So it's good for us because guess what? It's a part of Verzuz. If you don't have those blooper moments, you won't have nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's all a part of what Verzuz is. You're gonna have some moments where it's great. You might have some moments where it's bad. That's the whole part of it. And I think that's what makes Verzuz. Those moments of the Wi-Fi messing up, those moments where it cut off because I know you at your phone like, oh man, what happened? What happened? So that means you engaged. We got your attention. It's exciting. When Teddy messed up and we had to postpone and we came right back, that was amazing. But we didn't plan that out. We just knew that you got to come back.
Yep. Okay. You're in your house and you see Jadakiss drunk off his ass. What is Tim sitting there saying?
I'm not saying I'm loving it. This is 2020, man. Like what we creating is the future. Everything ain't gonna be how you want. We want those artists to feel free. And guess what? It showed. Like Jada, people talk about them. People do. Like you can't buy that. You can't write that. You can't pay for that. That's genuine love he had for Fab. He got drunk. He celebrated the hell out of Fab, and Fab celebrated the hell out of him. Like the energy that was in that room that night, you can't pay for that. You can't pay for it. I mean, and you can't rearrange that. You know what I'm saying? We try to keep it where it is a celebration. So celebrations come with being drunk, being this. But the point is, the whole key is they loving on each other.
You know, when I saw it, the first thing that I said, and I don't want to make it about me, but I said Jada loves him. Because when people get drunk, they really tell you what the hell they feel. So not only did I feel the love from Jada, I knew it was real because he was drunk. And the amazing thing was, Jada came out 3 days later with JadaDrunk.com and sold out a complete line of clothing, just off of that moment. So I looked at that and I hit Swiss on the DM. I was like, yo, bro, what y'all are doing is amazing, and there's no other way to describe it. But
love ain't gonna come in a package. Sometimes you just gotta like dissect through that. But you felt it through that screen. Drunk, not drunk. Falling, they dropped glasses. It didn't make a difference because you felt the love. It's like, oh, they just having a good time.
You could feel it. The thing is that you could feel it. Now, one of the last things I want to ask you is about Apple Music. People, when Tim leaves, stay tuned. We're going to have the question of the day, which is, if a man pays all the bills in the house, should he be allowed to do whatever he wants? Can he have a side piece? Can he not do chores, cooking, whatever? But we'll get to that after this last question for Tim. Tim, Apple Music. Why did you guys go to Apple Music? Are you doing Instagram anymore? Are you doing Apple Music or both? What are you
right doing? Now? It's still on Instagram, but Apple, we came up with a solution and a way to partner. How we can, Apple's helping us integrate to HD quality and transition people because like we love both. It's the home started the Instagram, but as you develop and as you go on, it's ain't nothing like on that TV screen. You know what I'm saying? And hitting that thing, hearing that music loud, you feel like you at a show. You know what I'm saying? And, I think for Verzuz, for the fans, for the people who love Verzuz, I feel like that's an experience you should be able to enjoy. You can still enjoy it on your phone, but you have the option to enjoy it on your TV. So it's like just kind of keep it home base and elevating it to the next level.
And this is going to stay something that's completely free, no sponsorship, no brought to you by, no nothing?
Everything, everything's levels. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we just keeping it how it should be kept. You know, we just, you know, it's you seeing the rise of how it's moving, and you appreciate it. It ain't like bam, 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 bam. It's like this, ride this. So, you know, you have a story. You know what I'm saying? Then you can see it. You're like, okay, they just didn't go to this. They just didn't go to that. They really thought it out, been smart about it, kept the energy alive. And when the right time was right, they partnered with this. When the right time was right, they partnered with that. It just don't seem like everything is so late forward out. Just look, we're gonna stick to the script, 20 hits. Let's get to it. We'll work about the other stuff and let it come as it comes.
I got you, brother. I got you. Again, thank you for coming through. I appreciate your time, and I give you your flowers while you're here. I never, ever in my life saw a guy make a beat the way you did and then walk in there like it was absolutely nothing. It was pure genius, and I talk about it all the time, and I just want to say I love you, brother. Be safe.
All right, thank you, man. Love.
God bless, man. That's Timberland right there. A lot of gems right there, bro. A lot of gems, a lot of things that he brought up, a lot of musical knowledge that you can get. And I didn't even get into the beat making class. So people, if you want to learn how to make a beat, Tim has a beat making class, and you can get that on the internet. Because I didn't really want to get into that too deep. I just wanted to kind of promote it after and let you know what he's doing. He has a full master class on how to make beats. You can get that online. You can go see it. All you got to do is type in Timberland Master Beats. Now, going on to the question of the day.